Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rejects and Friends Rapid Fire 2025. My name is Liz the Wizard, and I'll be your host for this upcoming very exciting segment for Echoes of Wisdom All Dungeons by the certified Catboy Dungeon Boy, The Glubbers. You all have been so generous thus far raising money for Planned Parenthood. We smashed the $1,000 goal. I just wanted to do a quick shout out to some of the donations at the end of Etchy's run. We had $10 from Dynam saying, thank you for catching Magmar. We had $10 from Nimbus saying, pet the switch axe, which is a great segue into our incentives that we have coming up. We have $25 from Birder that said, come on chat, let's get that Onyx world record. And then lastly from Pastel Punk 413, we also had $10 that said another $10 donation to pet that rat and to get the Onyx ride. You all were so great about petting the Pikachu and getting there for the incentives during Etchy's run. So thank you for that. Right now, I just want to remind everyone of what's active. So we have a raffle going on for another wonderful art piece called It's Dangerous to Go Alone by Isaiah C. Animation. This is in the program if you would like to take a look at what that is, as well as the bid war for the weapon that will be used during the Monster Hunter run after this. So that's enough of me talking. I know you're all excited to see Glubbers do this run and see what they look like, so I'm going to toss it over to them.
Hello, hello, hello. I am absolutely gorgeous right now, and I am excited to show off Echoes of Wisdom. All dungeons. We're going to be doing all of the dungeons, and it's going to be a fun time. With me today, I have Glan on commentary. Glan, go ahead and introduce yourself. Meow if you want to, you know.
I am Glan. I speedrun this game, I guess.
I said meow if you want to, so, you know, fair enough. We're
ready again.
If you want Glan to meow, we can bully him into it. You guys just need to donate $100. Not in one go. Just get another $100. Liz, what are we at right now?
We're at 1,080, so every $100 you might hear a little meow.
From Glan, the most enthusiastic person on a microphone. But without further ado, we're going to get started. So the run's going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. So All Dungeons is a run where you beat all the dungeons. As you know, it's pretty obvious. Now that said, we're going to start out in a dungeon. This is the first dungeon. This is Southern Ruins. Glan, are we in Southern Ruins right now?
No, not actually. I'm doing a little intro sequence here.
Why do you think that might be?
Are you trying to get me to meow, or...?
I'm not trying to get you to meow right now, unless someone donated $100 or something.
Anyway, we're doing a little intro sequence here where we're playing as Link, right? It's a Zelda game, so we're playing as Link.
Yeah, so we're playing as Link right now. The reason that we're not going to be able to beat the dungeon right now is because we're playing as Link. The dungeons are meant to be beat by Zelda. This game, Zelda is our main character, something girl power. Link is not a girl, unfortunately. What was that?
It is the Legend of Zelda, after all.
Exactly. It's Zelda's legend. Who is this guy? Just, like...
Yeah, I don't know.
He's got a hood. He's got a shield.
He doesn't even say anything.
He doesn't even say anything. He is pretty handy with a bow, though, like we'll see here in a second.
Yeah, true. And bomb shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And bombs.
But yeah, so the game starts out with a little intro sequence. Echoes of Wisdom is the most recent Zelda game, and they actually have Zelda as the protagonist for once. But it starts out with this little intro sequence where we go ahead and play as Link for a bit before it goes into the actual story, where Zelda is from then on who will be playing, and Link becomes nothing but a hindrance.
Yeah, so I mean, this is basically the typical Zelda game wrapped up in 2 minutes. Link is going to save Zelda.
Right here.
Yeah,
Look at
actually, the
Ganon.
run's only like 2.5 minutes long. Sorry. So we're gonna use bombs here. Bombs do a lot of damage. Blow them up with arrows immediately. And yeah, Link in the intro here is decked out with the level 2 gear, because you can upgrade them later when you get them as Zelda.
Yeah, and that is the game. The run is
bombs
over.
each do
GG.
spin attack damage, which is
We
double
did all of
splash
the
damage.
dungeons.
Yeah, that's it.
Ganon's dead. We're gonna save
That's really
Zelda.
Ganon,
She's in
right?
that little.
Like, that's the actual Ganon.
Yeah, that is. Yep.
Oh, wait. Oh.
Oh no.
No, I mean, normally enemies explode into purple smoke, right?
Run, Twilight Princess. So the answer to that is actually yes. But sure, we'll yeah. Yeah, yes, that is normal, and that is totally not a fake Ganon. Anyways, so just a little bit of plot happens there. Basically, Link falls into that little goo there that I'm not allowed to touch, and now I'm playing as Zelda, and because I'm gonna girl boss my way through all of these dungeons, I can't let myself be stopped by a little purple goo, you know?
What do you think the goo tastes like?
Have you ever had, like, Crush grape soda?
Maybe.
Yes.
Okay, so I imagine, like, it tastes kind of like that, but you left it out for, like, 2 months, and it's not, like, bad, but, like, it clearly has an off taste. That's what I imagine that tastes like. So, like a soda that's been left out for 2 months, we don't exactly want to touch it, because that would just kind of be icky and, like, gross. So, we're not going to touch that. It's, like, trying to get to us because it's sentient or something, but, which, you know, happens when you leave soda out. But, we just have to run away, because Zelda is a girl boss. She just runs away from her problems. That's what everyone does, right?
That's what I do. I won't comment about how well it's working out, but...
Dear viewer, implication by that statement. Read into it in chat right now. How do you think it's going for Glenn? But yeah, we have a pretty long intro sequence. Echoes of Wisdom, unfortunately, has two major side effects of being the most recent Zelda game. One, it has a really cinematic overview of the world, because for some reason, every Switch Zelda does. Here's the one for this game.
Okay, but I, like, low-key, high-key popped off seeing this in the direct.
It
I was
looked
like,
cool
wait a
in the
minute,
direct.
that's the Link to the Past world.
It did look cool in the direct, and it's the Link to the Past world.
Of course, I immediately recognized.
Which Glenn recognized. Glenn, do you want to talk about A Link to the Past? Is it your favorite game of all time?
No. No,
Fair
it's
enough.
not. That's why I get it over with as quickly as possible. Because, you know, speedrunners actually hate video games.
Exactly. No speedrunner likes the game that they run. Every speedrunner always picks the one that they hate the most. This is why I speedrun games like Echoes of Wisdom, because I think that it's absolutely adorable visuals, and everything about it is so wonderful, and, like, has all these throwbacks to all these Zelda games. Yeah, I fucking hate that.
Yeah. Awful game.
Who in their right mind would go through and appeal to nostalgia while creating a unique experience for a casual person to enjoy?
Nintendo?
Yeah.
Who said that?
Yeah. Well, Grezzo specifically, and we are supposed to hate Grezzo.
I love Grezzo.
Grezzo's amazing. Remember that time
they
they
have
let
good glitches in their games.
Remember that time they let Grezzo make a video game, and then it was called Triforce Heroes, and then they didn't let Grezzo make a video game for nearly a decade?
Yeah.
Hey, they didn't mess up the second time. But yeah, we have probably... This isn't even the longest cutscene in this run, but this is one of the longer cutscene sequences that we have going on. Basically, the king's just happy to see Zelda now that she's back from being kidnapped, and she explains that Link fell in some goo and there's some problems with the world, like shattering and stuff, and everyone around them's just like, huh, yeah, people have been vanishing into random goo that's appearing everywhere. Maybe we should do something about that. This guy right here is about to say that.
It's a big problem.
It's a pretty big problem. And then we get this, which this is a really funny... I'm online on my Switch. Everybody, Asher just came online. Shoutouts to Asher.
Anyway, we just saw wife fall in the goo.
Yeah, wife just fell in the goo, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's as far as we know her name, because she's just referred to as wife.
Mm-hmm. Which is wonderful in a few ways. So, like, I love that cutscene, that little scene there with wife falling in, because as the goo comes out, the goo comes from, like, her left. And then she immediately, as she realizes it's there, looks in the exact opposite direction. Like, oh! Grass. And then the other side, oh god! And then she falls in. But yeah, apparently the big bad of this game can just throw these piles of goo seemingly wherever, but somehow doesn't just open one up under Zelda. I don't really know. That actually is kind of a plot hole in my mind. Why, if your target is Zelda, you can just open the portal under her, you know?
We love a little bit of plot armor, you know.
Armor. It's the armor to my mech.
They literally explain it in the game that she's special and that doesn't happen to her.
But then wouldn't she have, like, the same interaction as how Redacted interacts with it? We won't talk about who Redacted is. Redacted will show up in, like, 40 minutes. Oh, and I guess I should also say the incentive was for both Zelda and me to be a catgirl. Until I beat Hyrule, I can't actually change my outfit. So, we'll see that at about, like... how long into the run is that? That's, like...
I don't know.
50 minutes. It's under 50 minutes, like 45
Something
minutes.
like that.
I cheated. I have Live Split open. I just checked. My PB does it at 43:52, so that plus cutscenes. Anyways,
I believe
so
the speedrunner would use live split.
exactly, I would use W split, honestly. More exposition on what the game is. That's Try. They're a lemon.
Yeah, Try repeatedly goes through walls and doesn't.
Is in
This
fact
happens multiple times.
Yes. This happens multiple times. And if I had a nickel for every Zelda game that I speedrun where the companion goes through a wall and then understands why the main character can't go through it with them, I would have 2 nickels. Why did they make the same thing twice? I don't know.
If I had a nickel for every Zelda game I ran where you played Volvagio with bombs, I would also have 2 nickels.
But yeah, so Try gave us their rod, which is amazing, and now we can summon echoes. So now I have a table, and this table is going to be extremely broken. Guys, I'm actually playing the video game. Here's a cutscene.
Let's go!
That was an awesome 10 seconds.
We love 10 seconds of gameplay at a time.
But we're going to do
Game is great, though.
little minor skip, the first skip trick here. It's just called a spawn jump. Basically, as I'm jumping, very shortly after, I'm spawning an echo, specifically the table echo, but you can do it with beds too, or any half-tile-sized echo. where you'll then just land on it. And the thing that's nice about it is that for some reason those guards immediately forget what they were doing when they jump on the table. And that lets us
the
just...
table just appeared in front of them.
Yep, I mean, the table did just appear in front of them. I would also be confused, but I maybe wouldn't stop chasing the escaping prisoner, you know?
I hope you enjoyed that 1 minute of gameplay. Because we have another cutscene for like a minute and a half.
That we do. Oh my god. Are you guys ready? This is the best cutscene in the game because it has Impa, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Liz, do we have any donations to go over while we're just sitting here with this?
We definitely do. We still have a couple. You guys have been so generous. We have one from DTMP that says GG's Etchy. So my bad on not reading that one earlier. We have GG Etchy. We have a $50 donation from Nux. No comment, but thank you so much for that generous donation. And then $30 from Etchy himself saying, "Yay, Planned Parenthood! Yay, Planned Parenthood! That is why we are here." Just a reminder that when you do donate, to select the incentive or the polls that are actively going on to make sure that those you actually get in the raffle for the art prize, or you include yourself in the bid war for the weapon that will be used in Monster Hunter. We do have more donations, but I might save those for a little bit later.
Yeah, let's talk about the Monster Hunter stuff a little bit. Y'all, the run after this is going to be Pride running Magnamalo % in Monster Hunter Rise, and Pride is a super cool friend of mine. Monster Hunter is a super cool run, and we have the ability to swap between, what is it again? It's the Switch Axe, the Hammer, the Lance, and there's one more.
Sword.
The Long Sword. And
Swax and Hammer are like... Swax and Hammer are neck and neck. Well, not really, but kind of. Switch Axe has 375. Hammer has 260, so catching up. You all really want to see Pride bonk it up. And then Longsword has $25. Lance, no one wants to see Lance. We have $0 in that one.
Alright, well, Switch Axe is absolutely my preferred one. I'm a Insect Glaive user, but Switch Axe is like my secondary, so I love seeing that in the lead. But the Hammer is really funny. So, you know, if you guys like funny things, just get the Hammer out there. Get those numbers up. Let's see funny versus cool. That's basically what this is turning into.
I think funny wins.
Funny usually wins, but funny isn't winning right now. And we need you guys to change that.
Also, I will say the total, we did get $100 total, Glan. So.
Meow.
Thank you, Glan, for meowing into the microphone. We love this. We're basically at the end of the intro, finally. And we do so by, oh no, more crushed grape soda is going to come our way. So we're just going to fall down this...
And drown.
Yeah, we're gonna drown. Bye.
Anyway,
so, that's finally the intro.
A real sentence we can say about this game is that the bed is one of the core movement mechanics of this game.
Yes. The bed is absolutely broken.
A sentence that nobody thought they would ever hear until this game existed.
Everybody loves the bed. Oh my god, the bed is amazing. I love that it's actually useful. I'll like get people be like, oh, but there's so many better options for like, you can use the path blade to get around, or you can use like the cloud, and I'm just like, dog, we don't even use the cloud in Hundo. What does the cloud even really do? Make a platform in the sky?
It's just a floating bed.
It's just a floating bed. Yeah, okay. There you go.
Yeah, but in Hundo we get to use Gust Gyro. Like, why would you use anything else?
Because Gust Gyro sucks to perform.
Nah, it's not bad. Anyway, we get an urchin here. So it's like the other side of the Echoes mechanic. We get to summon enemies to deal damage. It's kind of some of the main combat here.
Yeah, we can...
combat you can do in this game.
There's a lot of these enemy echoes that we can get and have a wide range of utility in how we can face these combat situations and puzzles and all of that, and it's a wonderful mechanic. And I'm going to get
use like one thing
two.
for the whole game.
Yeah, I'm going to use Lizolfos. His name is Larry. We'll get there later.
So the sign is very broken. Very important, Echo.
Yeah, the sign is probably the most broken Echo that we get. Or I guess the catalyst for being the most broken thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very, very important part of our adventure. We can technically do without it. Okay, that is an interesting way to do that.
Yeah, that works. No further questions.
No one question. This actually, so this part is something that I occasionally get people going like, whoa, this game's amazing. It just lets you go out of bounds like that. And it's like, you're not really out of bounds, you're just on the trees. But it is a good showcase
totally
of the game being
that.
super open.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, you can just ride on the
It's kind of like a double-edged sword for speedruns in a way, because, like, it means that a lot of stuff is blocked off through game flags and stuff, and not, like, level design. So,
yeah, exactly.
that is a bit limiting in, like, what kinds of sequence breaks we can do, but we do have a big sequence break we get to use, which is nice. I'll talk about that more later. For now, this is kind of like... It's like the lead up to the first dungeon, and the game's kind of like blocking you in here with the goo until you beat the first dungeon. It's technically possible to escape, but it's not really faster outside of any %.
Yeah. The only context that we really would want to skip the first dungeon is just being able to go to final_dungeon, which is exactly what any % does. Basically, because we would be able to skip the first dungeon, but we want to do all of the dungeons, it makes no sense to skip the first dungeon. That's about it. Anyway, Tri has opened up some lemonade in our grape soda, and that enables us to go into Sudalia Valder de Nicht.
Okay, but like grape and lemon together is low-key pretty good.
I don't think I've had grape lemonade before, but I'll take your word for it. Liz, have you had grape lemonade before?
I have not, but that does sound delightful. I think citrus goes very well with other fruits.
I agree. I really like blackberry lemonade.
And like all the purple in this game is definitely making me think of grape, blackberry, all those things.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So here we do wife jump. You remember
what is
wife?
happening right now?
She's gonna help us out. I don't know what is happening. What are you doing? So, wife is here floating in the air, and we're just gonna put a bed on her face, and then jump up there.
Poor wife.
Saves like 45 seconds or something, or more.
Yeah, it saves going into like the first combat tutorial cave.
Yeah, that cave is just really awful.
Anyway, now we're in the actual first dungeon, which is the same first dungeon that we were in before, which is a confusing statement, but last time we were linked so we couldn't girl boss it up. This time we're gonna girl boss it up. I hope you guys are ready to see some girl bossing, including using definitely not just kind of a move from Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, the Nintendo Ultra Hand.
Yeah, so Bind is going to be useful in a few places, but it basically just lets us do one of two things. We got Bind there. We're going to be the world's strongest arachnophobe and just drop a ton of beds on it. Basically, though, Bind is super cool in it lets you grab onto something and you can drag it along with you, or later we'll have reverse bind, where you do the reverse. Go figure.
Yeah, which is really, really cool ability. So there we got the Ignachad.
Yeah, everybody
somehow
spam
one of the
Ignachad.
strongest enemy echoes in the game.
Genuinely,
we'll
if you
see his
count
power in a little bit,
Yeah, if you count the max number of spawnable Ignazol at the same time, and account for their DPS, and give the same restriction to every other enemy, or enemy echo, sorry, the Ignazol is like the 4th highest output, because you can just summon an army of them, and they deal way too much damage for what they actually are.
Yeah, kind of gloss over the Strantula here. It's another enemy echo, but it's mostly just used for utility.
I'm getting a lot of snapback, and that's going to be wonderful to deal with.
We love the quick menu. Or if you've ever seen a hundo run the quote-unquote quick menu.
Yeah. After a point in hundo, you just open up the main menu. It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, you only use like 20 different echoes at most.
Except for all those quests where you summon different echoes for people.
Yeah. So here we have to fight Link.
Alright. So Link is possessed by the Crush Soda, and we need to, like, handle that. And Link, you...
Unlucky.
Alright. Ow.
So the idea here is we want to wait for him to kind of stop and get confused and look around, and then have an Ignachad behind him and hit him, knock him over. Sometimes you get unlucky if you just let the Ignachad attack him. Because being on fire stuns him like that, but there can be a thing where I think like the main body hitbox hits him like 1 frame after the fire, and then he immediately
undoes it. Yeah,
stunned.
it's
Just
wonderful.
like position nonsense.
Yeah, it's probably got to do with like the speed that the Ignazol travels at, and its curvature. And we love physics. Physics is amazing. Thank you, game physics. We have a sword now.
It's dangerous to go alone.
Of course,
Take
you would
this.
say that physics is amazing.
It is dangerous to go alone. Speaking of, Liz, do you have any more about our wonderful poster?
Our wonderful poster. Yeah, that is true. We do have some donations that have come in. We have $10 from Katie, who said, "Hello, I just wanted to donate something. I appreciate all of you who are participating in RAF somehow, some way. I love y'all. Let's hit that goal." Thank you, Katie. And also, we have $20 from Herminator, who says, "Boss, I see you're live on Twitch, but I don't see my favorite redeem. The ban me redeem. Can you help out here?"
Alright, I'll ban Herminator.
I don't think we can help out on the Raft channel, but maybe Catgirl Glovers can oblige. You all are just being so nice and wonderful and contributing to our goals for Planned Parenthood. We also had no message, but $50 from Golden Devil 1711. Thank you so much for that generous donation. And I do want to give a shout to a new target that's been opened, or incentive, for the next run, Monster Hunter Rise. We have a Amaterasu dog skin. Basically, you can switch out the dogs in the run with Amaterasu from Okami. Apparently, it's very cute, very beautiful. So that is $100. And so when you go to donate, make sure to select that on checkout.
It is. It's absolutely gorgeous. Is it Amaterasu or Amaterasu? One of them's an Ocarina of Time runner. The other one's the dog. So, it's a very pretty skin, and that's absolutely something to just look at the pretty visuals for. Nice targeting system.
What? Okay, I've never seen that one.
Alright, we can talk about the targeting system now, I guess. What echo
It's
do
bad.
I need? Dead.
We got a cool couple rooms coming up here. So this game keeps the side scrollers from Link's Awakening, because it's the same engine as the Link's Awakening remake. And I mean, I guess just arguably side scrollers are kind of a staple of 2D Zelda at this point, but
What the?
so this
Fair enough.
room has a bunch of platforms on cycles and stuff. There's a couple
Yeah.
ways we can get through this pretty quickly. Glibbers looks like he's trying the slightly more optimal but way more difficult one.
Yeah, this is called Stratty McStratface, and I apparently fucking suck. So, hold on.
I prefer Stratfucker, but either way.
Oh, we can call shit fuck room. Thank you, Raph.
So what he's trying to do here is like jump and place the Strandula like underneath him, attached to the next platform up, and then grab the
There we go.
web. And then he's going to do that again on the ceiling here, and then reverse bind this platform to get across.
All right,
So in this next room here, you have to use bind to move the statue onto the switch. That's definitely what you have to do.
Yep. Glenn, what button is it to, like, organize your echoes? Is it X? I think I accidentally pressed them. It's Y? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I want the first one.
Yeah, you want the first one.
Yeah, I accidentally hit that button at some point. That was what was going on with my menuing.
Alright, so first boss coming up is the Seismic Talus. The bosses in this game all generally have multiple ways to beat them, which is kind of cool. But here we're just gonna wail on them. We kind of have this fight routed out in a certain way to ideally be able to beat him without leaving and re-entering Sword Fighter mode. Because every time you go in and out of Sword Fighter mode, it's over 2 seconds in total.
Mm-hmm. Which, depending on RNG here, we got good RNG, so we're fine.
Yeah. So, yeah, we say RNG, but the bosses actually kind of work really weirdly, and they're not really, like, exactly RNG. A lot of their patterns end up being, like, time-based, so we can actually get consistent patterns if we do the fights the same way.
Yeah.
It feels random. Which is, like, pretty cool if they intentionally did that, because that is kind of, like, a nice thing for speedrunning.
Yeah, it's a very nice thing for speedrunning. We'll see that as a theme throughout different bosses as we go through. Some of them are more complicated than others. Some of them we mostly forego. Yeah. Scorchill.
Mm-hmm.
Too much variance in what he actually does to control it reasonably.
Yeah. I actually found with Talus, like, I was getting a different pattern on Switch 2, I guess because, like, less lag or something, so I had to adjust slightly.
That's interesting. I haven't been able to get the quick cycle on the second hit as much on Switch 2.
For some reason, I got that way more consistently.
Interesting. Maybe it's because you're not as luscious as me, and, you know, it's against
I don't know about
girls.
that.
But yeah, that's the first dungeon. We sure did do a dungeon.
Yep. We did the whole dungeon. I hope you enjoyed that, because it's pretty much the only whole dungeon we're doing.
Yeah, they're gonna get more broken from here on out. We're gonna be able to start doing glitchy things.
Your lemon got another Dorito.
My lemon did get another Dorito. I'll direct all of the viewers' attention to the shadow of the Doritos.
Which are circles.
They are circles.
So right after this, we're gonna get another little cutscene, but we're gonna get into one of the bigger glitches that we can do, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna immediately do a sequence break.
Yeah. So
which is gonna be
what's
great.
supposed to happen here is we go out and we meet Minister Left, who is like one of the king's advisors, who we saw in the intro cutscene. And we just read her from the goo, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, hey, it's Zelda. Let's go talk to Impa's brother." But I don't want to talk to Impa's brother because he's smelly and talks too much. So instead, we're gonna play a game of The Floor is Lava.
Yeah, so about The Floor is Lava. If you guys remember being kids playing The Floor is Lava, you would just, like, jump from furniture to furniture. So we're able to play an advanced version of it because Zelda is able to spawn furniture. So I'm just going to set down these beds. I was very specific on where I actually started setting down the beds, and what this is actually doing is making it so that my respawn trigger when I void out right here sets me back over there, and now I'm outside of the escort quest's trigger. It's actually
Yeah,
very close on my left side there.
If you get too far away from left, then she'll like say, "Hey, what are you doing? You're supposed to follow me," and then
Yep.
pulls you back in. But by respawning, we're able to get out of that trick and avoid it entirely. And now we just don't have to talk to her at all, or do any of that cutscene stuff. But there is a consequence of this. It just put the game in a bit of a weird state, but most noteworthy is that during that escort sequence, you lose your ability to warp. So we're gonna have to get our ability to warp back, which we'll do in a little bit. Right now, this part of the route, we're gonna be getting a bunch of waypoints. Not because we need to go back to these places, but we're gonna use them for wrong warping, which I will explain a little bit more when we get there as well.
Yeah, we're just doing what's called World Tour, which is
Essentially,
just going around the world, collecting a bunch of waypoints for the sake of going to all of the dungeons by wrong warping, which we'll explain in just a little bit, not too long.
essentially, we need to use certain waypoints in order to control where we end up. So we need to go collect a bunch of them.
Now, this spider is not a waypoint, it's a spider, but it's also going to be helpful in our journey.
Wait, it's not a
lets
waypoint?
It's not. I actually asked Nintendo, and they said no, its name is Wanchula because they wanted to confuse us. They both start with W. By the way, I need those 50 rupees because I don't actually need 50 rupees, I need 10 rupees. So it's like when you would ask for these, and then your dad's like, wait, but the tickets are like $9. What are you asking for $50 for? You can get drinks or something? And you're like, no, I just want $50.
And that's on catgirl math.
That is catgirl math, exactly. Do we have any catgirl donations?
We actually do. I want to read this one first because I'm Silver that said, I tune into the stream and the first thing I hear and see is maybe catgirl glubbers can oblige. So this is the best fundraiser of all time, I think, and I would have to agree. We also have $50 from Cineris, who says, had to speedrun my horse's routine this morning to make sure I could catch every moment of this fantastic run by the one, the only, the Glubbers. And finally, we had $100 from Brandino, who said, just wanted to shout out the all-around wonderful human that is the Glubbers. I'm so happy we met and continue to interact. I know you'll crush this.
Hell yeah, thank you, Brandino. Thank you for the $100. Glam! Meow!
Meow.
Just on-site, immediate.
Love it. No, thank you all for your generous donations. And Brandino, you're super fucking chill. I probably should limit the F words, but you're super chill. And we love hanging out with you. I'm glad that I got to meet you, dude. Thank you. And also, Quack and Cineris, you guys are also cool. I'm stuck on a tree.
It happens to the best of us. Alright,
Anyway, this is an
the
acorn
mini-game.
You guys like mini-games, right? Alright, how quickly do you think I can collect them all?
Yeah, this is an important part of all dungeons, is collecting acorns. Okay. You know, there's an interesting thing about the acorn minigame, which is that it also
Yeah, so basically, we have the ability to warp.
Finish.
Yep, go ahead.
That's it. Now we have our ability to warp back.
Yeah, we have the ability to warp back because basically the game never checks individually for the different state of the reason why your warp is disabled. It's literally just, hey, is your warp disabled? Yes. Oh, well, you finished the minigame, you can have it back now. And you're like, thank you. Alright.
So this is kind of the longest detour to get a waypoint, but we're also going to get something else very useful here. As Glubbers mentioned earlier, we're going to get...
that bomb is evil.
The guy. The bombs are terrible. Schrodinger's bomb. It won't go off if you wait, but it will go off if you walk past it.
Alright, so this is Larry. Everybody say hi, Larry!
Yeah.
Larry.
So a consequence of doing Lugari skip, which is the escort escape thing earlier, is that we're not able to upgrade our weapons at all. Without watching that cutscene first. But luckily we don't have to, because we can get the Lizalfos level 2, who does 10 damage. For reference, the level 2 sword against bosses does 9 damage. And you can spam the Lizalfos very quickly. If you're targeting an enemy when you spawn him, he will immediately spawn in and attack it. Like, immediately. So we can just spam place Lizalfos to shred
We're also
anything.
doing glitchy stuff right now. Just ignore
Yes. Yes. This is normal gameplay. No, we're setting up for a wrong warp here. Libbers did a map storage setup, which involved reading the sign when entering a void trigger, and then that gives you 2 frames after closing the text box to open a menu, which will then kind of stay open, but not actually open after you void out. And we get to stack 2 maps on top of each other and use that to basically... So what we do there is, the goal is that we want to warp somewhere while in the still world, while we have selected an index of a waypoint from the overworld, and that'll warp us to essentially that index in the still world, since there's 2 different arrays of warp points for the 2 worlds. That was probably a bad explanation, but...
it's serviceable.
That's
Take
the
index from Overworld, apply it to Underworld map. Load that, game goes, oh yeah, you're going to this spot in the Underworld, and then now we're in Hyrule instead of Faerun.
Yeah. Because
I set
all
down
the
a bed and
dungeons
just
are in the
pretended.
still world, so like all of the waypoints inside the dungeons are, part of that list of warp points. And luckily, most of the good ones have corresponding waypoints that we can use to set the index in the overworld.
Some of them actually have multiple. The final dungeon has 3 that access it, if I remember right. I know 2 offhand. I believe there's a third that's, like, really not used.
There's
but
4.
Is there 4?
Yeah. It's, like, Westfield, Sanctuary, like, the far... near Kakariko. I forget which one.
Interesting. Well, we have the best item in the game, the frog ring. It lets us jump. And, like, jump higher.
Yeah, it basically effectively doubles your jump height.
Yeah, it doubles your jump height.
It
Look at that.
actually
Oh.
adds half a tile, but that's doubling it.
And this is Ganon again.
Yeah, he's a lot harder this time, though.
He's very
this
difficult
fight
this time.
should ideally be mostly scripted. Like I was mentioning earlier, the bosses kind of don't really have pure RNG in this game. So Ganon, we're able to kind of manipulate like where he spawns, and he has a mostly fixed attack pattern. I didn't even know you could do that.
Oh yeah, you can absolutely do that.
I thought you had to like wait for him to respawn before hitting him.
No, but I won't be able to there because I'm too far away.
Cool.
If I didn't have to get hearts there and I were being a little riskier, I would have been a lot closer to do it again there too.
Yeah, so this fight has 4 phases. He does kind of more attacks in each phase. He does these fire bat phases, which are supposed to be kind of like a way to refill your energy. But we don't really need that, so we just kind of want to clear those as quickly as possible. Once we get to the 4th phase, he's going to do kind of all the attacks he can, and that phase is more random. I don't know if it's totally random, but...
No, it's scripted. The attacks that he's going to do there are all normalized.
Yeah.
He's going to start out doing fire. Let's see if I can remember it. Fire. No, he does this.
Yeah, he starts with that.
Then it's fire.
Wait, I guess that's right.
Nope.
It is more scripted.
You're gonna do fire, thank you. I know the game that I run, I swear.
Yeah, I know the game that I'm commentating.
And we don't actually want to have the ball, like, volley thing going on, because we can just fight him instead of playing volleyball and get through it a hell of a lot faster. And so that's the Ganon fight. That is probably the most mechanically intensive fight in my mind.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
Good
So,
job
yeah.
on doing a defeat Ganon, no SRM. Proud of you.
Thank you. We do actually have a defeat Ganon category. It's a
Oh,
glitchless
really?
category. Yeah, it's not 3 minutes long. It's glitchless first half. It's glitchless through Hyrule, but
Gotcha.
this game's super sick, by the way. If you guys like games that look like Duplos or Mega Blocks, then there is the LEGO game series, but there's also Echoes of Wisdom, which is the game currently being played, and I recommend speedrunning it, because it is super cool, and you have, like, a third of the community in this call right now. Liz, I'm sorry you don't count.
It's okay. I don't need to count. I have not even played the game.
Fair. I am indeed playing a game right now. I realize that I haven't really been reading chat, and you guys can crucify me for that. Because now I have chat up. Hello, everybody. Who are the 6? Okay, I feel like I would be leaving someone out, and I don't really want to call anybody out by literally just forgetting them in the moment. But I could. Hi, Vivi. Okay, so let's do this.
That's the second dungeon.
Glam, myself, TGH, Joash, and Myth are like the 5 that are very active. Then we have Photon, 64-bit. Those 2 run Hundo. We have Owen, who glitch hunts, and like...
And Polk also glitch hunts.
And Polk also... Or Ninpulk, yeah. Glitch hunts. We have a few people. You drew me. You used to have Cloud. We did used to have Cloud. Cloud
Used to have Clown.
is retired.
I asked her too many times, and then she decided no. It's so sad.
It's
No, I'm
true.
just kidding.
And yes, you can select multiple incentives at checkout. If you guys are donating and you see Magnamalo % and you're like, man, I really want to see Funny Hammer go hee hee, but I also like that poster. Do both. It doesn't matter. You
can
guys
get a
can do
poster.
it.
You can get a
It's
poster, you can pick a weapon, and you can contribute to using the cool dog skin.
Exactly. That's what we like. We love Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is really super cool. You didn't see anything except for the poster as an option. There should be Magnamalo % bid war for what weapon to use.
They are in different tabs, so I can explain that. You open the page and you can click add to cart, and then next to rewards there's polls and targets. All 3 of those are things that you can select.
There you go. That's for Zadarna asking in chat. And do we have any donations while Pippi asked for the anti-tiramisu?
Anti-tiramisu. Pretty sure it's amaterasu. But we did have $20 from Zydernet who says, let's go! Good luck, have fun, everyone! With a lot of exclamation points. And in all caps. I wanted to capture the essence of that message.
We love all caps. All caps is so near and dear to me because I remember the days of sticky keys, and I'm making up a story right now and I don't know where I'm going with it, but thank you.
All caps for all dungeons.
All caps for all dungeons!
That's a
Easy.
memory unlocked right there.
Sticky keys.
Keys. So we had another 10 seconds of gameplay in between cutscenes.
We did. Did you guys enjoy the bit of gameplay where I went from one room to another and broke a flower?
Yes.
I want me to stand up and give you a twirl. This dress is way too short. It wouldn't actually be that bad. You know what? Okay, if we hit... What's a reasonable number? Let's say 1,600, 290... I'm not wearing the boobs. $290, 1,600 by the end of the run. I will give a twirl and I'll curtsy, okay?
Do a little spinny spin.
Also, I'm going to be able to turn Zelda into her own catgirl.
Momentarily.
Alright, so this is the part where I grab a completely different controller.
Yeah, so
That
this
is
game
not
has 8 dungeons in total, counting the final dungeon. Done 2 of them so far.
And now we're back to the other one. Oh wait, I need to actually equip it.
That was really fast.
Now we're a
that she
catgirl.
is, specifically a goth catgirl.
She
with
is
an
a
emo.
goth catgirl, and I'm the emo catgirl.
Oh, you guys are twinning. That's so cute.
Exactly. Yeah, and we would be able to hear Glan meow 3 more times. Don't you guys want to hear more meowing by Glan? I'm sure
I
Glan
don't.
wants to meow.
I want more money
For charity.
for charity. Even if I have to meow.
Alright, so this is the single hardest wrong warp in the run, because the game
For
is
some
actually...
reason, this one is just way harder.
It's way
don't know
harder.
why.
It's like actually just different.
Yeah. So we're going to Farron next, right? I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're going to Farron next.
So there are a couple dungeons in this route that we kind of do in
Yeah.
2 sections. This is one of them. So the layout here in Farron is that we have to beat Manhandla twice in 2 different rooms in order to get the big key, which are kind of all the way apart in the dungeon. The second one is like way deep in some awful out of the way spot. So we're gonna wrong warp in near the boss room, and then go fight the first fight, and then we'll leave and we'll come back later.
Yeah. It's really great that we're able to do it in the order that we do it in, because we don't have to do a bunch of navigating all of the ridiculous dungeon. And yeah, it's fun to do the dungeon, but it lets us be a hell of a lot faster, not have to collect all these echoes. We can do what we want. Hey, we're on EG floor. Glam?
I've never been on EG in my life. That's a lie. Very nice.
So there's the easiest puzzle that you've ever seen.
Yeah, you gotta hit both of those switches at the same time, which you can do by jumping with something bound and then placing a second thing at the right time.
Yeah, it tries to make you get through the idea a lot in the later half of this game. This is a second half dungeon, by the way, where it tries to make you go, okay, what can I do here? Well, we have to balance these two so that you hit the switch at the same the 2 switches at the same time, which you go, okay, I'll do that. And then as a speedrunner, I go, okay, I have the jump button. And they're like, wait, we didn't really think about that, and it absolutely breaks it. As long as we, like, bind something and jump, we can just ignore any, like, puzzle shenanigans.
Yeah. Here's Manhandla. Just shit a bunch. That's it. Sometimes he farts on us. We don't want that to happen.
Yeah, that's been happening to me a lot more on Switch 2. We were talking about things that are weirdly different between Switch 1 and Switch 2.
Hmm. That is weird. So we're gonna leave. We're not actually gonna come back here again yet. We're gonna go do a
Yeah.
different dungeon first.
So that was
and this-
Farron 1, and everyone knows that what comes after Farron 1 is not Farron 2.
Yeah, it's Jabul Ruins.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I mean it just makes sense, right? So the reason why we do it like this is because of the energy meter. So while you're in sword fighter mode, you're on a time limit with the energy meter. I forget how long it lasts. Is it like 16 seconds or something? I don't remember. If I say anything, I'm gonna be exposed for making it up.
1,500? Okay, hold on. Glam, finish your explanation. What do you mean $1,500, though? Liz?
Oh,
Donation.
$1,500. So, yeah. Pride is getting ahead of me, but it's okay. We had a massive donation of $200 from Highly
Oh.
Incompetent, who says twirl, which we're now only $90 away from. This also met the Amaterasu incentive, so we'll get to see that in the next run. And just a reminder, we still have the raffle for the art prize that'll be going on the poster. That's an Echoes of Wisdom poster during this run and the next. And we now have Funny Hammer in the lead with $470, and Switch Axe is at $375.
Hell yeah. I know that I said that I'm a fan of comedy, but, you know, I did also say that the Switch Axe is my preferred weapon. I'm swapping sides. I am absolutely not... I'm unapologetically swapping sides. Everybody, we need to get that Switch Axe up there. Come on. You can do that. Switch Axe needs to win. Because what would you prefer? The Dom Axe or the Sub Axe? No, we're going with the Switch Axe.
The Nintendo Switch Axe 2.
Yes. This is played on the Nintendo Switch Axe too.
I mean, it's a Switch game. Or I guess they made a PC release, but...
After the run. That's my first rupee!
Yes.
No!
Yeah, so as we saw with this dungeon, we went in the front door roughly. So clearly we had to do the whole dungeon, right? Right.
Right.
I guess there's another reason we do Jabul. So there's a couple of reasons we want to do Jabul before the second half of Farron. One is that we need to be able to feed Manhandle up bombs of some kind, and we get a bomb fish here. Other than that, it also works out nicely to kind of split it up around Jabul because of our energy meter. When you beat the dungeon, you get a full energy refill, and we hopefully don't need very much to beat this boss, because he often drops a lot, but sometimes he drops... Yeah.
Sometimes he hates us.
Skill issue, I guess. Sometimes he's just having a bad day.
Yeah, we'll see how he feels today.
So this fight, we want to do the second hit there in a specific spot so that we can manipulate the second phase hits. So as soon as he comes out of this, he's going to do another spin attack, and we're going to be able to go hit him again immediately, so he can't move, and then he'll do another spin attack, and we hit him again. So we want to have a kind of specific position, because if he's too far to the right there, like, he will start moving, he'll, like, start to turn around or something, and then he might get away from you. So...
Momo is right. We are owed a couple of meows.
I'm not doing them in a row, though.
Okay, yeah. You can do one. You can do one now, though.
When you least expect it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I like the surprise meows. We'll just keep a track. You owe 2 meows currently.
No, I just did one.
Oh, nice. You owe 1 meow. So, yeah, that's Vocavore. Very easy boss, but sometimes RNG hates you, and we don't like when RNG hates us, so the boss becomes, like... It's the easiest boss to do when it's nice. When it's not nice, it can literally be impossible. We couldn't hear the meow on stream. Meow!
Meow.
There we go. Beautiful.
Yeah. Sometimes he just doesn't drop energy. Sometimes you spin attack him and it doesn't hit, or it only leaves like one of his, I don't know, wart things. I don't know what they are. Sometimes it just like doesn't hit one of them, and then he gets away from you, or I don't know.
Yeah,
All
wait.
sorts of stupid things can happen.
Zelda has like a giant cat tail. I also have a giant cat tail.
Good.
It does not work with a dress. But it's been a very functional feather duster. Not one attached to the booty? No, I do not have one attached to the booty. I can wear it. It would hang under the dress, and no one would see it, and it would be awkward to sit on. Why do I have that? Cat ears. It's a buckle, okay? It's a buckle. The tails go over the dress. Yo, we're almost at the twirl. It's happening at the end of the run. I'm gonna say that again. I'm not standing up and twirling mid-run, even though I have plenty of cutscenes.
I have a great idea. Pippi made that catgirl mech drawing of you, so you'll stand up, do the twirl, and then live react to the picture on stream.
It's Saturday. It's not Furry Friday. I am very okay with this idea. I still have yet to see Pippi share the photo with me.
She posted it in chat, but we can. I'll make sure you see it at the end.
Strike the same pose. Hey, there's beautiful music here. Getting away from the idea that I. Look at that.
Shabu.
They're playing music so well together. And definitely not dating.
I'm sorry.
Think they kissed yet? Yeah, the whole storyline with these two is they're like bickering like an old married couple.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just waiting for them to like finally kiss, and they never do.
Yeah, so like this is the end of what is required is like they're friendly with each other now. But if you do like Hundo, there is continuation in their storyline, which basically they start sneaking off to see one another alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they actually do just get together.
It's just fish Romeo and Juliet.
Kind of. Anyway, this is my favorite cutscene. Because this is General Wright. General Hood. And then he's shocked that it's Zelda.
It's like, Zelda, I didn't know you were into all that.
That is funny. General Wright, why is he standing on the left?
He actually is standing on the king's right, so Minister Left stands on the king's left, and General Right stands on the king's right in that first scene with them all three. But a funny thing about the German language, by the way, this runs fast in German. It's a speed run. Get used to it. They're fast in different languages than the one that you're talking in. Who cares? Unless you speak German. Congrats. So in German, their names aren't just German for right and left. For, as best as I understand it, it's because the German word for left is linke. Linke. It's just link, right? So instead they used Italian. So like, Minister Left is Sinistra. Which is weird. Anyways, so we're gonna, now that we're done with our little side quest to not deal with doing 2 manhandles in a row, we have our energy again. We have a bomb fish, which is definitely not a water bomb from Twilight Princess, and now we'll be going back to Farron. And we'll be using, if the astute viewer is paying attention, a different warp point than before, because we're warping into a completely different spot. More links than Link. Love that.
And when we warped here the first time, we activated the waypoint that we warped to, so we'll be able to take that one after this and get straight to the boss.
You ate my ball and chain soldier! What the hell?
The blue heads, you have to feed them a bomb of some variety in order to stun them. Whereas the green ones, you can just hit them enough.
I sure hope we don't have to feed variety to the boss.
Hopefully
Variety,
not.
do you want to be eaten by Manhandla? There's a non-zero chance she's just not around right now.
I know. It's just funny. Is this the same boss as earlier? It was just more heads, or is it
Yeah,
different?
Manhandla 1 and Manhandla 2, exactly. And then we go
Farron
into
1 and Farron 2. Oh my goodness.
Exactly, and then we go into the boss of the dungeon, which I'll let you guess who it is. It's Manhandla. It's Goma.
So Goma has these weird crystals on her legs, and we have to electrify them, I guess, and then she falls down. I don't know. Anyway, so here's those Alpha spam again.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of those
really high
spam.
DPS. So there's 3 phases that we go through. On the second one, she'll be running around the ground like this. The keys are drunk sometimes. Generally speaking, if you target something, your enemy echoes. Well, sometimes they just don't, or they miss it, or it's awful sometimes actually. But I don't know why that worked.
It was the rebound that got it.
And the targeting system is really annoying. So you're targeting that upper crystal is really hard.
Yeah, the priority of the targeting system is interesting. It's something that we've seen before and we'll see again. Basically, we don't really know how it works. It's just weird. It's to some degree distance-based, so the little nodes being super far away from me gets pretty problematic. Yeah.
It's kind of based on the direction Zelda's facing and the distance. And then it prioritizes not targeting your own echoes, except for echoes that you placed very recently.
Yep.
It's weird.
Anyway, spider down. Y'all ready for another long amount of cutscenes while I remember how the English language works?
It's okay, you've been running in German.
It's true. So while I take time to recollect myself, Liz, the mic is
I'll
yours.
happily take it away. We do have a couple more donations. We had $10 from Shaggy, who says, "Shoutouts to Dungeon Boy and Hammers. Everybody always asks why the beds, but nobody asks why can beds beat physics. This is a true question." And then we had $5 from Tomomodachi, who says, "Meow. GG, Dungeon Boy.
Meow.
Less than 3.
Hell yeah. We love meowing in this house. Alright, so these are one of the last 3 dungeons that isn't the final dungeon itself, where we fight the final boss, are what we call the Goddess Dungeons. Every single one of them is going to end with this little cinematic where we're bestowed Faror's, Din's, and Nehru's pearls. Basically, story-wise, what we're doing, for anybody that's, like, even curious about what the fuck is actually happening right now, We're going around collecting the favor of all of the goddesses so that we can open up the goddesses' realm so that we can go and take care of the big bad. We now know that the big bad is a guy named Null. We don't really know anything about Null, but we know that Null is a big bad who wants to, like, eat the world, which is impolite and similar to Apophis from Egyptian mythology, so he's probably a snake. We don't know yet,
Yeah.
though.
Definitely a snake.
All right, and here's the third time that I'm going to say this today. This is my favorite cutscene, so
It's a good one.
this is a really good one. Okay, so these Deku Scrubs, basically the story of Scrubton is like they were eating the webs because they're apparently delicious, and all around them their world was being destroyed because, you know, the world was being destroyed. That's the plot of the game. So we've saved them. They all run out to go to get some smoothies, except for that one who pops out of existence right now.
Yeah. Totally normal.
Very
Hate when that
normal.
happens.
So what's actually happening there is basically... And this is actually... Hey, we haven't explained the game in a minute! Let me do that! Okay, so basically, this is actually very important for the routing structure of the run. Basically what we did was we completed Farron without actually ever triggering the start Farron sequence. So because we've now completed Farron, EJ is online. EJ is running the game later, tomorrow, I believe. And that'll be sick. Or is that tonight?
It is in
Anyways,
fact tonight.
It's tonight? Hell yeah. So it's very important for, like, the state of things, because the end flag gets triggered for completing the quest, where, man, now we've completed Farron. But now what's playing is the intro cutscene, where it's going to set that same quest status to the first stage and uncomplete it. So, because of that, visually what happened with the unloaded Deku Scrub there was it was getting caught on some collision that wasn't visible anymore, but because of flags, there had been actual collision loaded. So that's what happens there. But it's super useful for a number of reasons, and we'll get into them as they show up. And the first one is going to pop up here with Gerudo Sanctum, which is tied to the end boss flag beating Goma. Has some special properties in Gerudo Sanctum. This is where the game gets, like, super technical and super broken and super cool and niche for the people that are like, ooh, code. We're gonna get our final warp point here, by the way. We have all of the warp points that we need for the run. And we're going to warp into Gerudo Sanctum. Gerudo Sanctum is by far the most broken dungeon.
Yeah.
And for the people that go, ew, code,
now?
like Cloud. What's up?
Is that now, Gerudo?
Yeah, Gerudo's now.
What was after Elden?
No, it's where it is somewhat.
Oh no, you're right.
arbitrary,
You're right. Yeah.
But it just needs to be.
Yeah, I
after
know what I'm
Farron.
talking about. Yeah, so Gerudo Sanctum is the other dungeon from the first half that we haven't done yet. And we're definitely going to do that dungeon. So, you know, as we've seen so far, we're going to warp in near the boss door, and then we have to get the big key, which happens to be pretty close by to the boss door.
Yeah, it's actually below the boss door in Gerudo Sanctum, which is great, except for the fact that there's kind of like sand in the way.
If Anakin Skywalker happens to be watching, I would advise looking away for a few minutes.
If you hate sand because it's coarse and gets everywhere, leave the stream now. There's the Mopulas that look like Ravio.
They do kind of look like Ravio. Yeah, so we're in some sand.
Where am I? There I am.
So this room has like a kind of spinner puzzle we have to solve. So we kind of have to memorize the solution. It's not very complicated though.
Yeah, 'cause it's done. But we do have to be able to do it entirely blindfolded, because there's sand in the way, it's coarse, and it gets everywhere. And I'm trying to find the...
I like how you can just see the
There's...
circles from where the lighting is coded in very clearly.
Wait, hold on, I can
Here's
see
the
the cat
boss.
ears.
Here's the
Anyway,
boss.
this is a mole with goggles. It's my favorite boss.
Anyway, we're gonna leave him alive. He's too cool to kill.
Exactly, he's wearing goggles. That's how you know he's cool. And that was Gerudo Sanctum.
That's it.
The dungeon is over.
So
That was so fast.
That's the result of like a weird thing with how flags are defined. I don't fully understand it, but basically, because we defeated Goma, it for some reason also sets the flag for that portal. Like that portal also checks for Goma being dead or something.
Yep,
I
exactly.
don't know. It's some weird flag nonsense that they defined in some weird way that the game got confused.
It's very the game got confused. We wrong warp into the end of the dungeon, can't see anything because we're covered in sand, and then we just get the boss key, go into the boss, and don't even fight it, we just leave. Best dungeon. Anyways, we're going to do another split dungeon here. We're going to split up Elden, but unlike with how we did Farron, we're not actually going to, like, do a dungeon in between.
Yeah, it's just, we kind of just have to do it in two sections because of a couple things. The main thing is that the warp point near the boss, when we go there, there's a locked door between that and the big key. So we can't actually backtrack from that waypoint until we get a small key. So we have to go into the earlier part of the dungeon to get a small key. Now, unfortunately, due to just kind of the way the indexes are defined, there isn't really a good warp point for this. The best one that we can do is the start of the Still World section outside the dungeon. So we're gonna make our way up there, but luckily, it's a pretty cool section. We're gonna do some fun stuff here.
Yeah, we do some parkour.
So did you know that unlike most other Zelda games or 2D games, enemies do not just deal contact damage to you. You can just stand on their heads. And that is how we get across.
And then we can grab the electric keys right here, and instead of doing the second half of the puzzle, and we're done. And now we're into the dungeon. If this were an all dungeons restricted run, we would have to enter basically every dungeon that way. We wouldn't be allowed to just, like, go arbitrarily into the dungeon. We would have to enter it normally, which would mean a lot more still world movement, which is really cool, but also slows things down quite a bit.
Yeah, we have a second category that kind of aims to have more full dungeon execution while still allowing wrong warps. Not a lot of people have run it so far, but it's got some cool stuff. So now that we got that first small key, now we can finally warp to near the boss door.
Yep, because if we're going to go backwards, which is exactly what we're going to do, we're going to need that key. There's a locked door, and that is unfortunate for our purposes. But because we now have that key, it is great for our purposes, because now we can get all the way back to the boss door super quickly, not have to worry about anything, not end up having to do the mini-boss fight or anything. And we go to
Scrubton, yeah.
Speaking of mini boss,
Yeah.
have a $20 donation from Mini352, another raff runner who says, "Cool poster raffle, yippee!"
It is a cool poster. If you guys like cool posters, donate. And if you want to see me twirl and curtsy at the end of the run, also donate. We like money. It's going to a good cause. I am being very shameless about this.
Good. Look, we knew you were shameless when you showed up on camera.
This is true. If you really thought that I had any shame whatsoever, then I really want to know what you've experienced that is more shameful.
So a cool thing in this route, we actually do get all 3 elemental keys. Since they're all pretty useful for different bosses we have to do, and anything better is too far out of the way.
Yeah, so we end up using all of the elemental keys, which is amazing.
Yeah, or the Flitterbicer.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Want to know who did my
Electro
makeup?
Flitterbicer.
Yeah, I did it myself. With assistance from Cloud.
Unfortunate that Moldorm did not fall in the lava.
Like, by telling me what to do. It was all applied by me.
So the big key here has this kind of little escape sequence with the rising lava. We actually do have to do this. It disables warping until you get out of here.
Yeah, so alternatively, if we could warp into Eldin, we could deactivate our...
Yes, you could save playing the Acorn game.
Yeah, we could save playing that stupid game by getting to Eldin somehow. Minimum rupees, new category. There's Larry.
So here's a familiar face. But this boss is basically just an auto-scroller. He's gonna spawn in 7 spots. It's not random, it's fixed where he spawns. And every spawn has a damage cap, which is a pretty low damage cap. Like, there's no way you're not gonna hit the damage cap, so it's basically just an auto-scroller.
Mm-hmm. For anyone wondering, this is literally Volvagia. It's not just like, wow, they made homage to Volvagia. This is Volvagia.
Yeah.
Yep. And I messed up a little bit.
There are some ways you can speed up the cycles a bit, but...
Yeah, I'm trying to speed stuff up, but if I get damaged too much, I'll be a little bit more safe so I don't die.
It does a lot of damage. This game also kind of brought back things doing a lot of damage.
Yes.
Like, there are enemies that will just do like 5 hearts of damage.
It's wonderful.
And then you just say, deal with it, figure it out.
That attack is not a common one to get.
No. That attack is probably an homage to Twin Roba, though, honestly.
Probably.
That's like literally what they do in Ocarina of Time.
I really need to stop getting hit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was still taking fire damage. Anyways. Y'all want to see Volvagia again? I was being a little careless.
I think you should try not getting hit this time.
You're smart. Let me... People do
Turns
die
out
when they're
falling into the lava kills you. This game is so realistic.
Whoops.
I like how it's just sitting there.
Okay, that should be fun.
Yeah, that cycle's annoying because spawn's like just barely within range.
Yeah. You need to stand in, like, a very precise spot. Wait, you're not going down. My bad. What does this poster look like? You can look at the poster by looking at the schedule, the program, and you will see exactly what this poster looks like. It is a very cool poster.
Schedule.
Safe strats. I think you can also just stand over here for this one and be in, like, no danger of falling in. It's probably just a better spot to stand, generally.
Uh-oh. This is why I normally just pull the pendant off.
This way, what?
Why I just pull the thing.
I could pull it, yeah. But this will still kill. Alright, how are we coming along with our curtsy, by the way?
We are very close. We're $55 away.
Yo. And we just killed a boss, and there's 2 Larrys on screen.
Oh, that's cheating.
It is cheating. This game uses cheating. I'm sorry. So that's Volvagia, the most scripted boss in the game, to the point that I was very uncareful and died. Guess what? You can die in this game. Whoops.
Really?
But
So we
yeah.
got a very long cutscene here.
We got a very long
Literally-
cutscene.
Literally like a minute and a half with no inputs. In a total of like 4 minutes.
I'm glad to hear this, Hex. This speedrun turned me into something greater than I was before. My life is genuinely changed after this run, and only for the better. You're very welcome. Yeah, if you want to see me curtsy and be, like, I don't know, cute, donate. We have, like, 4 minutes of cutscenes. I could say the word donate for 4 minutes. Do you guys want to deal with that, or do you want to get us to the $1,600? Donate now. You guys
Not-
are hostage.
Oh my goodness. Oh dear.
Do we have any donations, Liz?
Not at the moment. So maybe this is
Donate.
good encouragement.
Donate now. If you donate $55 in the next 20 seconds, I will grab a copy of Goodnight Moon and read it.
Good.
I can
Don't
grab
forget-
it.
Don't forget to select incentives if you're in a rush.
Goodnight Moon. Do you want me to read this? Then you donate. Also select incentives while operating at whatever pace you're going at. This
Yep.
isn't an actual incentive. This is I pulled out the book Goodnight Moon. This is not sanctioned by RAF. I don't know if this is copywritten in some way and I'm not allowed to read it, but I will read it anyways. See if I care.
Only here you could have a catgirl reading you Goodnight Moon. I don't think that's a sentence that's ever
At
been said.
noon.
Oh my goodness.
Is Goodnight Moon a threat or an incentive? Yes! Donate! By the way, there's like a fucking lore happening. Turns out Null is not a snake, it's like a giant ball. Din just gave us her life story, and we listened because we always listen to queens.
Thanks, Dan.
I don't know why I heard Dan. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, you too, Dan, wherever you are.
Yo, if we hit 2k by the end of the run, Pippi will draw yet a third thing. That's hype. Yeah, that is a good point, Rejects and Friends Twitch user. If you donate $55 and get to that $55, that is enough for feasibly 3 people to donate $20 each and get into the raffle for the fantastic poster. They're jumping for joy at the idea of this, so do it.
Oh, yippee!
Anyway, this is Darston, aka, like, Unobo, but way better. He, like, actually has character growth, and, yeah.
Yeah, his character is that he's a nerd.
A nerd?
Yeah, Gorons aren't usually nerds. Normally they punch things. But Darston is a nerd, and he also punches things.
We love a well-rounded Goron. He rocks, honestly.
That is how Gorons work. Where is this trigger? There it is.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's actually a cutscene where he, like, does math.
Math?
There is,
Sorry.
yeah.
Math? Oh.
Yeah.
He has,
like
little glasses and his tablets of,
he's like, okay, if I punch the wall here, then that'll make these rocks fall on these guys. And then he does it, and the rocks fall on the guys.
It's amazing.
Oh, I love that. I love that. A calculated move from Darston. He's now my favorite since he used math.
He is also the young chief of the Gorons in this game. So he is large and in charge, and I hear he's available, ladies. Or whoever Darston's into. I don't know how old Darston is, I probably shouldn't make that joke.
I have no idea.
How old do Gorons live to be?
I do not know.
What is the age of maturity of a Goron?
Not a question I need answered.
Age of maturity is like...
Targeting moment.
The generations are like 50, 60 years or something, I think. Or 70, somewhere around there.
I just want to...
As implied by Oracle of Ages.
I just want to call out the moment that we had with the targeting mechanic there, where it just decided that my second target was just the same thing I was already targeting.
So we got another switch thing there. This time though, Alphos makes that one because there aren't enough Doritos to go around.
Yeah, now we're gonna bully a Wolfos.
As we all know, a level 2 Lizalfos costs 4 Doritos.
Yeah, Darston helped us do the math on what amount of Doritos we needed to cancel that bed. That's why we had to do Eldin before Lineru. No, there's actually exactly one reason that we do Eldin before Lineru, and it's the fire keys. That's it. Otherwise, we don't need it. Otherwise, we would probably do Lineru earlier. Because, God, this boss sucks. I would absolutely do this before.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out if doing Lineru a little earlier could be faster, but...
Anyway, here's the Ignis chat again.
Has its chance to shine. Yeah, we are going to use the Ignis chat again a little bit here.
Damn it! I just tried to not swear and swear at the same time, so I just said damn and git. That's amazing. Anyways, the main theme of this dungeon, which we skipped most of, is these little, like, hot and cold sections where we unfreeze and refreeze things. It's actually a really cool thing. Yeah, damn.
Yeah, this is one of the longer dungeons, I think.
Oh, for sure.
But it does have a very neat gimmick to it.
Alright, here's Scorchill.
Yeah, this boss sucks.
This boss does suck.
This is actually the hardest boss in the run.
Yep.
But on, phase 1, we try to hopefully manipulate the first couple attacks he does. Beyond that, we can't really manipulate what he does. But yeah.
It kind of looks like he's wearing a blue shell on his head.
Kind of.
Well, now it's gone.
He's just like this monkey that has like this weird Viking helmet looking thing. That's really what he is.
So you have to hit him with the opposite element to break the helmet. On this phase, we ideally, well, on all the phases, but this one kind of especially, we want him to do the slam attack, and like this, and that lets you just kind of spawn keys on top of him to do damage.
He was very kind to let us show that off.
Yeah. Other than that, kind of just have to react to the RNG, and there's a few things we can do to make the keys hit more often. The keys, whatever.
And here's the reason this fight sucks so much. The third phase, he can alternate, and we're basically going to run into him doing his ice attacks on ice, and him doing his fire attacks on ice. Which is amazing.
Yeah, and it's really annoying when he switches. He has a habit of doing it, like, right after you spawn a keys.
And he can just do either set of attack with either element out. It's great.
Which sometimes is nice if he does like this fire attack with the ice helmet, and like the fire keys is immune to it.
Yeah, but the reverse is not so nice.
I don't know what he was doing there.
Neither do I, but it made this free.
just stabbing him in the ass for a little while.
Exactly. Who doesn't love a little butt poking? Anyways, that is the second to last dungeon. That is the last dungeon that is not final_dungeon. So, we are getting close to the end here, and we only have so much time to get the little twirl and curtsy.
You mean... I must point you to the total. I was waiting for the fight to be over. We are at $1,600 thanks to Basil Ouija, who donated exactly $55 and said, "Twirl for me, pretty boy."
Alright. After the run, I will twirl and curtsy. Thank you, Basil.
Yes, thank you all so much for your generous donations.
Now, Basil, did you make sure to select the incentive?
They did.
Okay.
Good job.
Now, the next thing, though, y'all, we're already approaching 2K. This is the second run of the event, and we're already approaching 2K. How are we sitting on that bid war?
We're sitting at right now. Hammer is still in the lead, but not by much. It's at $480, while Switch Axe is at $435. So $45 to tie, $50 would put Switch Axe in the lead.
Yo, Switch Axe is the best weapon on that list. It is so fun. It's explosive, literally. But Hammer's pretty bonky. It's goofy, you know? So we'll see what ends up winning. We're neck and neck. You guys, one donation can swing it one way or the other. Do you make it decisive for the bonky, or do you want to switch things up? Here, we like to switch two things up, because this is run on Nintendo Switch 2. We have a ton of Doritos, by the way. Look at all of Try's
I wish I had
Doritos.
some Doritos.
That does sound good. The purple ones specifically, for the purple goo.
What are the purple Doritos?
Purple Doritos?
Hold
Well,
on,
they're the purple bag. So you know you've got the red bag, the blue bag, and then the purple bag are sweet chili.
Oh, spicy sweet chili. I've not had these.
I like them personally.
Not my thing, but
I think the lemon would try them.
Enjoy Doritos in normal quantities. I will get an inordinate amount of Doritos if Doritos sponsors Rejects and Friends, Pippi.
I'll second that.
Someone get in touch with a brand ambassador of Doritos. Who owns Doritos? Is that Lay's? For like Frito-Lay?
I have no clue.
So
It would make sense. They own like every chip on the planet.
Yeah, PepsiCo through Frito-Lay.
PepsiCo through Frito-Lay. Okay. Somebody get in touch with a brand ambassador of PepsiCo. And we will have a Pepsi Man speedrun every event.
sounds like a good deal to me. Alright, well that's all 7 of the other dungeons done, so we only have the last one.
Stuff your gob with Doritos till you choke, you stinky, stinky gamer. Non-approved GDQ language. I don't really know what part of that is not GDQ approved, like individually, but together, yeah, I get it.
Don't think we're rejects from GDQ over here. And friends.
Anyway, here's final underscore dungeon. This looks more impressive in 80% where we just kind of long work to the end.
But
Here's Null's innards. We're inside of Null. Make all the jokes you want.
oh yeah. So this is a weird part because normally when you play the game normally, you give the sword back to Link and you don't have access to sword fighter mode in here. But now we do because we wrong warped in here. So we're gonna use the sword. But first we're gonna use the Ignichads.
Get over here.
This is a room where there's 3 phases of these blobs that spawn, and then when they touch you, they spawn enemies. Blubber's gonna spin around the room 11 times so that they stop for a moment enough to kill them before they spawn really annoying enemies. Do it again, because that last one spawns a Lionel, which is one of those aforementioned enemies that deals 5 hearts of damage.
Yeah, Lionel skip is like super crucial because, guys, I have 6 hearts and I have way less than full health. I would just kind of die.
Skip is the soft lock skip. So another weird thing here is that because we didn't enter here normally, a lot of game flags are messed up. So Link is supposed to be spawned in this room, but he's not. And when you hit that switch, he's supposed to walk through the door on the left. But he doesn't exist, so the game just waits forever for him to walk through the door, but he can't do that.
And this is Shit Room, which we weren't allowed to call it that on GDQ.
Yeah, it's worst room in the game. Yeah. So we're gonna actually go backwards here. So with the game flags kind of messed up, the big thing that happened that also like prevented Link from spawning before is this room here with the fork in the road. Link is supposed to go on the left path, and then it seals behind him, and then tries like, oh, you gotta go the other way. But we don't have to go the other way. We can just go this way. And this skips a really annoying side-scrolling section.
Yeah,
Saves
this
like
is
a
called
minute.
T-skip.
And we can also get Link up there much more easily when we're on the same side as him.
Please do not consume t-shirts, Quack. That one got me.
Now we have the cinematic long hallway to the final boss.
Yep.
Wasn't that
This is
that
the
cinematic?
small intestine. And then there's the colon.
Where's the large intestine?
I
I guess that
shit
is the
fuck room.
colon.
He's not a
Alright,
boss.
So Null is a long boss fight in 3 phases. So the first and third phase are both split up into like sub-phases. And here we want to grab the arms and then have Link do a spin attack against them, and then just kind of wail on the main body. You might quickly learn from watching this that Link is an idiot, and he must be completely under control at all times in order to do what he's supposed to.
Yeah, so this fight isn't that hard in like a vacuum to do in a speedrun, but the two things that really hold us back are the targeting system and Link's AI. Both suck.
Getting an optimal fight is really difficult. Yeah. Just because of those things and just like slight things can go wrong. There's a lot of like moving parts, especially in the third phase.
Yeah, but as long as things stay relatively normal, I will know where all of these hands are spawning from. So you'll see me like immediately go into them.
This is another one of those fights that's kind of scripted as long as we do the right things. It's not really entirely clear how it works, but like we know if we do the same things, we'll kind of get the same result. And often we kind of know some like backup cases too, if like a certain thing goes wrong. At least I do, but yeah. So that's phase 1 done. Phase 2 is an excuse to have him spawn Vocavore, because in the third phase he's going to spawn all the different bosses, except
Here's
Valegia.
how you know it's the Nintendo Switch 2.
So they made, the fact that this isn't like 20 FPS means that it's on Switch 2. When I first played this on Switch 2, I was like, wow, this isn't shit.
Yeah, no, it's so smooth. It's genuinely saving seconds of time in just this phase alone, which is literally just a side-scroller while I do this the entire way down a hallway.
Literally an auto-scroller. So he has
literally
500
an auto-scroller, but we save seconds over lag in this part.
Every time he kind of stops, like you just saw him do, he takes 50 damage, and then eventually his HP gets set to 1 at the end. So basically, we just go to the end and then hit him once.
I was curious about this fight. I was like, you're not really fighting it. You're kind of just.
Yeah. That is the spot
it.
where he gets set to 1 HP, and then you hit him once, and he dies.
Yeah, so the way that I like to put it, which isn't correct, but is funny to think about it this way, is Null takes you to a spot and goes, haha, Zelda can't breathe! Oh no! I can't breathe! And just drowns itself. So we wait until it's at low enough health to just smack it.
Something like that. Yeah, so the third phase here is a lot more complicated than the first. He has 5 arms now. 3 of them have, like, his own captive tries that he uses to summon bosses to do attacks. Ideally, you want to get each of the sub-phases down in 2 cycles. So 2 arms on the first and then 3 on the second.
Alright, there goes any manipulation.
And then in between we have these, again, like, where the arms come from the walls, but these are tri-arms, so they're going to spawn enemies now instead of just being claws. Yeah, this has kind of gotten out of control. There's also this hand that can grab you, and then you have to spawn 47 urchins to get out of it. That's not a joke. It's the actual number of urchins you need to spawn to get out of it.
Yeah, you can't really do anything but urchins either, because the urchins are the only thing that you have that will, like, deal passive damage.
Yeah,
everything
will,
else
like,
needs
reliably attack the arm. Like, Link and other Echoes, like, can attack it, but, like, they'll prioritize the other enemies, so they just, like, don't do anything.
Yeah, the only other one that we have that will do the passive damage is the Ignazol, which will deal passive fire damage and then attack something else. So it doesn't really do its main... There it is. Its main job. So the manipulation got messed up a little bit. I don't really know where things are going to spawn, so I'm just going to wing it.
So this phase spawns Club Borblins and Lizalfos. And these Strantulas, when they're just kind of sitting on the ground like this, their hard shell makes them invincible to the kinds of attacks that these enemies do. So we can kind of just use them to, you know, draw fire and not die.
Link.
That's not good. This is especially not good.
This is especially not good, but it's slightly better because it's on Switch 2.
Yeah. This was the other thing that annoyed me on Switch 2. I was getting this a lot more often, and I didn't know, like, how to not.
I have found that
like
I only get...
science.
What the...
Yeah.
Oh no!
Okay.
Luckily we got the autosave here. Yes, that's another consequence of wrong warp in here. Normally, you're not allowed to save in Null's body anywhere. But if you wrong warp in, then that flag that prevents autosave or like saving doesn't get set. So you can get an autosave in the boss.
So I was
around
going to say,
Lizalfo's face. So
what I was going to say is, oh yeah, I don't really get the Goma phase, so I don't really know a way to deal with it, and I think that that became very evident.
yeah. Yeah, unfortunately the script is messed up again here. This fight's a bit janky. Sometimes you just like can't pull the arm far enough. So you can see how it like goes white in the middle. That means it's pulled out far enough for Link to kill it. And sometimes it just doesn't let you pull it out far enough for like no reason. Sometimes it's just like too close to the wall. Yeah.
Link. Oh my god.
Okay. Well, here's 47 urchins. Isn't this exciting? The null fight is definitely an interesting part of this game, just as like a speed game, because like every category does it differently, because you get like different goes in different routes. The 100% route actually uses bombs, because you get level 3 bombs, which do an insane amount of damage. Like, for reference, the Lizalfos is doing 10 per hit. The level 2 bombs against Null, I think, do 36 damage.
It's so much.
And the arms have 140 HP, so you can actually just, like, blow them up. It's kind of funny.
Yep.
Actually, it might be 24 instead of 36. I don't remember.
36 might be level 3. 36 sounds like a lot.
Yeah. Normally they do, like, the spin attack damage of the same level sword. Which I think is 16 for level 3. So then it would be times 1.5. Against bosses. Yeah, there's a damage multiplier for using the sword fighter form attacks against bosses. You do 1.5 damage.
Alright. Very rough, but that's basically the end of the game. So we're just going to pull the Prime Energy out of Null here, and we'll be calling time in just a moment. By the way, that's definitely not the Triforce or a Dorito, it's the Prime Energy.
It is the Prime Energy. To respect A.G. Aonuma, who didn't want it to be called the Triforce for some reason.
And time.
GG.
Catgirl supremacy.
That certainly was a speedrun. Look, Null's screaming that it's over. Catgirl supremacy.
And then he says, Gebtsi.
Yeah, it's Getsimir. Which is, give it to me. Now twirl. Yeah.
I mean, we're already inside him.
Here. While I twirl, I'll just set turbo to go so things autoplay. Because I have to probably move my chair out of the way.
There's a good text box here in German.
So,
in the cutscene after this, where Try just says Zelda.
How do I... I can zoom out.
Die.
Well... You guys can see the little dress that I have. Let me put that off to the side. How can I twirl? Jesus,
Just like
okay, that is carpet.
Just like that.
Well,
You've heard of do a barrel roll, but have you heard of do a catgirl twirl? Beautiful.
It's weird doing that towards something that is way shorter than me. But there you go.
Thank you. That was perfect.
I'm glad to hear it. Also, the never-before-seen, yeah, I just kind of have a Halo poster there. If people know my stream layout, that's been there for a long time. You just never see it. But yeah, shoutouts for the run. That was the run. You guys are amazing. We're donating a lot of things to charity and making a lot of good money. You guys are awesome for that, so thank you. Keep going. We have Magnamalo % by Pride doing Monster Hunter Rise after this, and it's going to be a fucking amazing run. Yeah, if you guys want to follow me, look up Catgirl. You won't find me. But I'm Glubbers on Twitch, the Glubbers. Glenn, do you want to shout anyone or anything out?
I mean, we already
Four Swords
mentioned
Adventure?
the whole Echoes of Wisdom community.
Yeah, I was going to
My
shout
name.
out the Echoes community.
But yeah, I'm Glenn. I'm at twitch.tv/Glenn. I speedrun Zelda 2. Zelda
Yeah.
as well. Not Zelda 2 yet.
Glenn does not run Zelda 2. Glenn runs Four Swords Adventure as of late, which is a really cool speedrun.
Yeah,
You should
I
check him out.
recently. Yeah. Mainly
like,
a
honestly,
2D Zelda guy, at least right now.
But yeah, if you're interested in this game at all, you can go to speedrun.com/EOW. Gets you to the Echoes of Wisdom page. There's a link to our Discord there. There are, I would say, a lot of people in there, but really there's like 7 or 8 of us. It's not that many people. You will just kind of be like, hey, can I talk to the? And I would be like, hi. Because guess what? There's so few conversations in there. It's like one of the only Discords that I leave with notifications on. But yeah. If you're interested in this game, super cool, fun to do, a lot of downtime, very accessible. I've been using Turbo this entire time. You can see the blinky. That's the turbo going off. I haven't been using that for any text, so you don't have to hurt your hands. You're allowed to just do that, and it's great. Anyways, I'm going to stop taking up airtime because I already went over estimate by dying twice. But thank you all. I'm going to pass it back to the Lizzy Wizzy over here, and bye.
Thank you
Meow.
so much. The meow threw me off right at the end. Thank you so much, Glubbers and Glan, for the showcase of Echoes of Wisdom, all dungeons, and all of you for your generous donations. We'll be back very shortly with Magnamalo % by the King's Pride. I will still be here. I'll be back alongside another co-host, Tomomodachi. We'll see you very soon. And make sure to